most people probably recognise me as the District Governor's partner, Linda. I also am going to be wearing a new hat for Bill's year, and that's the membership chair for the district. It's an area that I'm very passionate about. I know there's lots of people who share my passion, particularly for our special district 9820. We are a very unique district because we have that real connection with our communities. We're very much based in smaller townships and communities. And I think that we've got a strong established relationship with those communities. And I think we are a very special district anyway. That's my personal opinion. And the reason why I'm particularly interested in extending our membership and getting some real forward movement on membership is that only just recently we actually had a Please Explain. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some slides with you this afternoon, and some of them will be quite eye-opening, I think, because I think we've all not been aware that our district has been shrinking. I think we see it in our clubs. We see that, unfortunately, you know, even at our mini conference, we farewelled so many long-term Rotarians that we're slowly shrinking, and I think we now need to recognise that we need to be doing something about it. So here we go. Well, technology. Okay, so here's some raw figures. So basically you can see over the years where our membership graph has taken us. So with COVID, we did expect a huge drop. We really felt that COVID was going to really decimate our district, but you can see that we have stabilised, and in some ways we've had the opportunity, people have found Rotary during the COVID time, and I think that we've managed to increase membership in some areas. So we've stabilised now, and you can see we're at 1177. Now the good news is that we've got some satellite club coming on board, which is really going to up our numbers. And so for a COVID year with all its challenges, I think we've done very well. And I think we have to recognise that people have been impacted by COVID, and I think they're now looking for opportunities for fellowship and opportunities to serve. They've realised that all of a sudden their world's changed, and they're actually looking for opportunities to get together and help their communities. And I think the whole drive now will be taking an opportunity for these people to discover Rotary. So that's what we're looking for. So as you can see, this is our district. And you can see over the months, we started with 1177 and now we're back to 1177. So that's amazing, because you remember we have lost Rotarians. So we've actually are looking pretty good for an incredible year that we've been through. So just remember that that number is 1177. Now, unfortunately, we've actually dropped down to a level where RI actually asked the question. So quite recently, Mark, as District Governor, received information from Rotary International to say that we need to be looking at our membership, because unfortunately, when we get down to under 1,200, we actually become endangered. We could actually lose our district. So there was an emphasis then on how we could continue the trend that we were seeing, that people were discovering Rotary, and that there was a real interest in people forming new types of clubs. So Mark and his team, which included the leadership team of the district and the incoming district governors, set out a plan, and we then submitted that plan, and so far we haven't heard much back, but we're hoping that they see it as a real positive. We've asked for time, we've asked for an opportunity to grow our district. So with that, we then put our heads together and started looking at that raw data. So I've already shared information about how we're trending. We're also looking at the things that are important, like the male and female balance in our district. So you can see again, we've had interesting trends, and for some reason we don't even actually measure our gender diverse community. So, you know, there's work that we can do in encouraging more females into our district. And I think that we can also make it much more welcoming for all people. So that's another thing that we can concentrate on. And some of the figures that we've been looking at, and as you can see with the age trend, so this has come directly from the information that clubs put in. So this is the breakdown of ages. And as you can see, we've got an awful lot of people in the green column. Now, that's wonderful, except we don't know who and where they come from because they're all without an age. So it's unreported. So we would really like to get those stats. So I would be encouraging everyone to reveal their age and get that information in, because it will give us a really good base to work from. We'll know where we stand with our members and where we can increase and look at changes. But the unreported figure would be really good to actually get those ages in. It's not that hard. We can show you how to put that information in if you're not sure. So that's where we are. So we now have some targets. Now these targets were agreed upon by the current Governor Train. So as you can see at the top, we've got where we are at the moment with District Governor Mark. And we've been a very fortunate situation. We've got a new satellite club up and running, and we've got a new Interact club. So that's pretty amazing, and we have stabilised. So our members stand at 1177 at the moment. Now, District Governor Bill has decided to really up the interest in membership and really promote membership. And he's put in a great big audacious goal of a growth of 123. And he wants 2 new clubs to be established in his year. And as you can see, after him, Paul has also joined in, and he feels, I think, that once we've had that big increase, that we will probably still have an increase and still encourage and perhaps another couple of clubs. So basically, we are really standing out there with some goals, which is something we haven't done for a while. You know, most organisations have goals and KPIs. Well, we've now decided to actually put it down on paper and actually actively work towards some goals. So those goals are big, but we feel that we have the right ways of approaching membership, and we've got a formula to work with, and we've got a plan. So here we go, we're on to a plan. So we've recently travelled up north, and we were invited to a conference, and one of the things that they do in their district up in Queensland is they've got lots of different style clubs. So looking at what our district has, well, we've got 46 dinner clubs. We've got a couple of breakfast clubs. We don't have any clubs that meet at lunchtime. They've actually developed a corporate club in Queensland where people who work in the same office block get together at lunchtime, and they've formed a corporate Rotary club. So lunch clubs, even though they seem not normal for our district, could be something that we could look at. We've got an e-club, which is amazing. I think we were one of the leaders in districts with e-clubs. We've got a satellite club. That's very exciting, and I believe there is opportunities for more satellite clubs being formed. So satellite clubs are very interesting, something we'll really look at and think about developing new satellite clubs. We've got 2 Rotaract clubs, and they're quite active, but you know, I think like all clubs, they need to be really thinking about growing more Rotaract clubs. There's certainly opportunities at local TAFEs and colleges to actually grow more Rotaract clubs. We've got 4 Interact clubs. Now, this is very exciting. Interacts really give us the gateway into schools, and we can really see that that's a growth area that we can use in our district. So there's also Early Act, which is obviously the youngest age in primary school. There's opportunities there. There's alumni. There's certainly a big push in a lot of districts now for alumni, because they're people who have been touched by Rotary. They've been youth exchange students, or they've been RILA students. They need to be contacted and brought back in, because they do understand the great work that Rotary does. And they're probably just waiting for someone to tap them on the shoulder and actually ask them to be involved in Rotary. So there's lots of other clubs like Passport and networking clubs. I mean, there's even a club that's supporting koala bears, which is amazing. We think about it, it seems so strange, but why not? I mean, there's certainly opportunities for, you know, mums and bubs clubs. We don't have to have them having formal dinners. They can get together over a coffee, and they can really work for their little area of their community. You know, mums and bubs clubs might like parks being developed, or areas so that they can have, you know, play areas for their children. So they certainly can be working as a Rotary club. Rotex is another area, returned youth exchange students. There's so many of them. We all know, we've sent out many over the years. Rotex certainly would be another area. And I rather like the idea of wine and cheese. I think that would be fantastic for people who are busy professionals. They might not have the time to attend weekly or even fortnightly meetings, but a wine and cheese get together and then a dinner if someone wishes to stay on, they would get so much done. So there's so many opportunities, and there is opportunities again. It's as much as you can imagine what we could do with different styles of clubs. And we're then inviting people who can't fit the traditional club into Rotary. So that's an idea. It's a menu, a district menu of clubs that we can start thinking about. So here we are, step 1. Step 1 was actually developing a plan that we could work for. And the part of the plan includes membership, foundation, and public image. So they're the main 3 areas that we've got to work together as a team. And that means that we've got the right message, we've got the right information about the work that we do in foundation, and we've got membership as a real focus in our district. So with foundation and membership, we need all the clubs to enter their information, their membership chair, so I can work with them and my membership champions will be able to work with them. It's going to be a learning curve, and people who perhaps haven't had that responsibility might need some help, and that's what our membership champions is all going to be about. So it's not just the person who interviews a potential member. There may be more work for the membership chair to do. And obviously I would love to have membership chairs as part of my champion group. So we're really going to be concentrating on giving support and finding out what clubs need to really help in their membership area. So if we've got membership goals for each club, that would really help. And we are going to be quite specific in targeting some membership goals for clubs. And along with that, you might as well pop in your foundation goal at the same time, because I think foundation is the main driving point for service. And I think membership and service and foundation just all go together. You know, we've got to be out there being seen to do jobs in our local community. So with our trilogy of membership, foundation and public image, we're going to work together and ensure that we align to increase all our impacts and reach our local communities and districts. So That's what we do, and we do that the best. That's what it's all about. So we've all seen these audacious goals. We really need to increase our impact. We need to collaborate those membership best practices, and we can share our success stories and really enjoy the opportunities that membership brings to our clubs. So we need to expand our reach, and by the end of our 23-24 year, we want to reach a membership goal of 1580. It's a big ask, but I reckon we can do it. So we're going to really enhance participation and engagement, and we really want to keep our members. We don't want to lose anybody. We want to keep 95% of people who are active in our clubs now, and we want to keep them active and engaged. We want to increase female membership to 30% and increase under 40s membership to 5%. And it can be done. We've got districts, especially in Queensland, are doing it easy. So we just need to share their resources and learn how to do it. So with that, we do have to remain as ourselves. We've got to be Rotarians. We just don't want to attract people who don't understand our Rotary values. So Rotary still needs to be for Rotarian and people with Rotary-minded service. So we need to continue to provide leadership and opportunities and really keep ahead of what society needs. So I think we need to still make sure that we are attracting the right people to Rotary. So, you know, our big, I guess our dream is that we do keep together and we can have people to really create change, and that's at every level. So, you know, it all gets back to our Rotary ideals. So step one, we've got the idea of having a flagship club. We feel that we've got the potential for flagship clubs in our district, and that's clubs that lead by example, that maintain that 50+ membership, and they can be the people who identify the potential members and also different clubs types and possibilities. So the satellite club, and really support other clubs in the district. So they're the flagship clubs that we can certainly have as our leaders in the district. Excuse me, I'm a little bit dry. So it's a different concept. It's something a little bit different. We have some very big, well-established clubs that can actually take on that leadership role, almost like the school prefects, that they should be leading by example and promoting people through leadership and through to district positions, because they're the people, they're the clubs that can support district, and we need those clubs. So those clubs will be very important. They'll support the district, and they need to support those important district events like Moona. They need to be the people that you know, really assist in training, that we get the leadership from those clubs. And the mentors, the people that can assist smaller clubs, I think that's where we need to be all working together. So we've got a challenge for smaller clubs. We'd like to see all the smaller clubs grow 3 members. Now, 6 months, well, we'll see. But if we can grow 3 members, that means we can increase our service in our communities. We can work with the champions that I'm hoping to grow, and we can start supporting district events. But the main thing is that we do need your ideas to help. We need your input, and we need to know how we can help to grow those smaller clubs. There's there's an awful lot of information out there that we can use. RI is providing huge amounts of information. We're using people like Andy Regipaskas and his style of growing clubs. And we want to just get out there and hold people's hands. You know, if it means that we're going to come out to a small club and organise an evening to invite local people in to discover Rotary, we'll do that. And we'll come and help, and we'll train people on how to get that information out to your local people. So I really need people to step up. I'd love people to be involved with membership, and we were really looking for membership champions. So they don't necessarily have to be in clusters. I'm happy to support champions. We've got a budget. Bill's very happily put money in so we can run with training of membership champions. So, and they'll need to keep that opportunity for regular contact. And we really would love those flagship clubs to support the smaller clubs as well, which is something we haven't done very well in the past. You know, it's sort of, this is my patch and I'm happy. But I think we really need to reach out and help support some of the smaller clubs and encourage them along the road to increasing their membership, because the smaller we get, the less we can do. So we really need to grow our clubs. So we need to, this is all about traditional clubs. We support traditional clubs. They're very important in our district. So don't feel we're going to throw away the baby with the bathwater. We want to continue to support traditional clubs. We've done this year with Chris Williams' help. We've done a pilot program, and we've done it with a couple of clubs. One's been Traralgon, and we've actually seen opportunities. We've seen a membership growth in their club of people under 40. And all they've done is they've sat back and looked at their club and how they can make their club more welcoming. So there's certainly opportunities for that pilot program to be rolled out to traditional clubs who perhaps have got a little bit stale, and perhaps people would have difficulty actually finding their clubs. You know, they know where they meet, but people don't understand how to welcome people into their club. So that opportunity to do more service and actually do more things out in the districts will certainly help traditional clubs grow their membership. But again, we'd love your ideas, your input, and we do need these membership champions to be on board to keep in regular contact, to get those flagship clubs helping the smaller clubs in their areas. So new clubs. Now, I've been told that new clubs are the way to grow Rotary. So we've got several planks. We've got supporting traditional clubs. We've got the opportunity for champions to support smaller clubs, get out there and help. And we've also got opportunities to grow new clubs. So we can certainly start by satellite clubs. And there's no reason why the traditional clubs can't grow satellite clubs. It's a new type of member. They're often professional young people who don't want to come to our traditional dinners, but they want to serve. They want to get involved with serving in their community. Rotary is a great, that people understand Rotary, and we've got respect in our community. So they see an opportunity to serve, but they don't necessarily want to do it the way that we do it. So they're happy to go online and meet, or they'll meet at coffee shops, and it grows your membership straight away. I mean, Mount Eliza has just launched their satellite club, very traditional, absolutely traditional club, enjoying great speakers and dinner and regular fundraising and events. But now they've got a satellite club that don't come to dinner. They meet online on a Sunday, and they've already got a project up and running, and it's to do with the environment. So these young professionals are already setting up their own service, and obviously we've gained members. And not only that, our club's gained more members because all of a sudden there's been a revitalisation, and we've also got 5 new members into the traditional club. So how exciting is that? And that really is the opportunity I think that satellite clubs will bring. So we have to concentrate on what our community needs. We need to develop opportunities for the community to engage with our clubs. And we can also look at different types of clubs. So how do you think we can grow those small clubs quickly? And the yes model, if people were listening this morning to Darcy from the Adelaide Club, he speaks highly of the yes model. And I think that's certainly something we'll look at employing, where we go out and help you bring people into the club, but we don't waste those opportunities. I think we've done it often. We invite people in for an information evening, but then we don't follow up. We're going to make sure that we follow up those leads and engage with people who could be interested in joining our clubs. And I'd also like to know how we'd like to support our traditional clubs. You know, they need to tell us how that we can help them, how we can actually help. We either by doing the pilot project style, where we examine how the traditional clubs are travelling and what they might do to make their clubs more welcoming and more visible in their community. So at this stage, I'd really like to open up for discussion. So please, if you'd like to unmute or use chat for your ideas about what I've spoken about so far today. Ooh.
Can I just make one comment, Linda, and hopefully the internet will stay okay. Just on what Traralgon has done, I think one of the things, or the two things we've really been fortunate with this year is, one, joining the pilot program and having that outside assistance to just clarify in our own minds where we're going. But I think the other thing, and I cannot stress it enough, 3 of our new members have come to us as the response to Rotary International membership leads. So if you get the possibility of a membership lead coming to your club, chase it like there's no tomorrow, because seriously, we have picked up a 34-year-old, a 29-year-old and a 25-year-old who wanted, one to transfer from another district, but the other 2 to come into Rotary for the first time. So I can never, ever emphasise that one enough. And that certainly wasn't on the radar when we started the pilot project, was it, Linda? It was just something that came and came out of the blue. So please, if you get that opportunity, chase it up. It's just been an absolute boon for us.
I think what also came out of those chats that we had was the realisation that perhaps people had got very complacent and that perhaps people weren't as welcomed as they could be into the club, and that sometimes cliques do form. And I think that just that sort of self-examination of what, if you walked into the club tonight, what would you see, can be quite revealing. So in the chat, I've got from Sunil, what are the club sizes in our district? So we've got 4 small clubs. Our average club size is around 20 and our largest club is 64. So we've got lots of opportunity to grow flagship clubs, and amazing opportunity for our small clubs to be helped and and really assisted, because we need them. They're already established in their areas. They just need some assistance to grow. So I've got another question about YAS. Well, YAS is an interesting program that has been used successfully. And if you did listen to Darcy this morning from the Adelaide Club, it's a system that they used, and I've actually got it all printed out, so I know that we can certainly implement it, but it's making sure that you don't lose any opportunity, that you set up for an information session. It can be a wine and cheese evening, that you invite people that you need to invite, from the people that we've lost contact, the people that we need to network with, and we make sure that we don't take too long, that we don't make it boring, that they can come in, find out information about Rotary, and that we've got their details and we follow up on those details. So I think that's the important thing. We often let people slip away. And, you know, we've had people that we've asked to join Rotary and they've gone, no, sorry, too busy, but we never asked them again. And, you know, things change in people's lives. Look what COVID has done. You know, so many of my colleagues have actually decided to stop work now. They've had that opportunity to be at home during COVID lockdown, and they've now decided that they no longer wish to be part of the workforce. So there's a huge number of people who now will be looking for opportunities that they've never had before. And what greater opportunity to enjoy fun, fellowship, and actually do some serving of their local community. And people really want to give back. For some reason, COVID's really given us a really big opportunity, because obviously day-to-day things, that the opportunity to get out and really enjoy fellowship and do good in the world really has come to the fore, I feel. So member retention is very important. Yes, I think that we often forget that people, sometimes their needs change, and I think we need to check in with them and make sure that they're still engaged with what the club's doing. And, you know, the easiest way to do that is to have a new service focus, because, you know, people sometimes get sick of constantly buying raffle tickets and funding projects. You know, they really would like to really look at a new focus on service, even if it's, you know, building a new barbecue shelter. I mean, there's certainly an opportunity to get out and do things in the bench. You know, it's just that opportunity to get out and do things. And with our new focus on the environment, imagine tree planting, there's so many opportunities to actually get out and do good in our local communities, and we're advertising what we do. So the most important thing, I think, is that we don't want people to leave our clubs. We want to re-engage them, ask them what they'd like to do. You know, just make sure that we're actually covering the areas that they are most interested in. Give them a voice, you know, try a new project, try something new. I will be circulating a lot of information. There's a huge amount of information that we're gathering together to make sure that we've got all our areas covered. And I will be sending out information to help clubs with things like the YAS project. And of course, I'd like to be there and helping too. And I'd like a team of people to join me. And I need for every club to have a membership person, a membership chair that I can talk to, so it'll be so much easier if we've got someone who's really concentrating on membership in every club. So that's important. My club champions, my membership champions I really like are people, and it can be not necessarily people in a particular area. We might have people who focus on things like diversity or new club development, or specialising people who have had the satellite experience and can see and help other clubs with that. So we're not just looking at, you know, people being place-based, that we can actually have people who have specialised areas. So I'm looking for those volunteers. So is there anything else we'd like to talk about? Some more ideas, questions for me? Diana, you're muted.
There we go. That's better. One of the things I have been discovering as I have gone around and been involved in different groups is not people's impression of Rotary clubs. A lot of people still do not know what Rotary is. Like they go, oh, I've heard of it, or my grandfather was in it, but I'm still amazed at how many people still don't understand what Rotary is. And I would love us to have some kind of really big public profile raising for Rotary. There was a little bit of it when we had the fires and the drought in the last couple of years, where Rotary was helping the farmers during the drought, and you know, Rotary was on Channel 9, and we're actually, you know, broadcast as, you know, this is a club in the community that's helping the farmers. Then when we had the fire, people were donating all of this money to fire relief to different organizations. And then people were really surprised about how some of the money wasn't being distributed where they thought. And so many of my friends said, oh, I didn't even think of donating to Rotary. Like, do you do that sort of thing? Man, we just need to really make Rotary more high profile. And I don't know if some of the funding you have with membership and club development could go to branding. And it's been brought up several times that if you are running a function or a fundraiser or something, make sure people know that you are supporting Rotary and that it's not just a bunch of nice people getting together having a trivia night or a golf day or something. So that would be my input, that the actual profile of Rotary needs to be broadcast, and I think even clarified about what Rotary is.
I certainly agree, and thank you very much for that input. I think that we really do need to work with public image, and we also need to work with membership and foundation, because foundation is the engine that drives Rotary. Public image, I think we are needing to do a lot more in that area. And I think the more we actually talk about Rotary, and I think that's so important, that we need to talk about Rotary all the time, to every opportunity to talk about Rotary and what Rotary does. So I totally agree. So that certainly will be something that membership will take on, because we have to talk about Rotary for people to understand and join us.
Yeah, Linda, Phil here, in line with the same thing. One of the things at a promotional level, we need to let people know that they're just welcome to contact the Rotary Club and join it, because equally to the same conversation, I'm still surprised how many people think they have to be invited. So that's a two-edged sword. One is to educate them to just contact the Rotary Club and join, and the other one is, as members, to actually ask people, would you like to join? Because they think they need to, they think they need to be asked, so just ask.
In a traditional way, I think it's always to maintain that people are good Rotarians, that they have to align with our values. And I think that's where the asking people to join Rotary comes from, to maintain that we're getting people who align with our values. And normally there is a process within a club to invite people to join Rotary. And I think I sort of agree with the idea that you need people to come in and understand what we do. And so to invite them along to a Rotary Club to understand what Rotarians are about is obviously the best way for people to get a good understanding of what Rotary is about. And then the club would welcome that person, because I'm sure if they've come along to a Rotary Club and understood what you're about, they will be ideal members for Rotary. So yeah, invite people to your meetings, invite them in to enjoy service and fellowship. You know, that's the way that people will to discover and enjoy Rotary. Any other questions? No. Well, it is Sunday afternoon.
Linda, I've just got one. What are the fees going to be this year? Because I know we got the budget last year, at least yesterday, to have a look at that. But I'm not clear what the specific membership fees are that we're going to be paying to the district. Have they increased from last year?
That probably is a bill question, but I think that when budgets are struck, they're always, obviously the costs that district has to cover are the insurance costs and training and those sort of areas. And I know that they always work very hard at keeping those costs down. The other part of the costs in membership are often club costs, so that's another area. Certainly, I can most certainly find out and get that information to you, Carol. So I
just what's the district levy that they're going to be charging in the communities? That would just be very helpful for us to finish our budget.
Not a problem.
Thank you.
After I get off this call, I'll get Bill
Linda
to answer that question for you.
Linda,
Yes.
the district
Helen.
the district
Yep.
levy that came up yesterday is $128.02.
Well, there you go.
Thank you very much.
That was
Wonder
on the
where
budget that was
2 cents
handed out
goes.
yesterday. That's what was handed out on the budget yesterday.
Are there? So
And
that's
so I have to tell you that we do have a document. You probably can't see that. That's the document that that the leadership team of the district put together as an answer to the question that RI asked about what we were going to do about our membership and increasing our membership. So we would go above the line so we wouldn't be under threat of losing our district. And then a moving forward plan that we've put together. And this is the plan that we'll be working on. So remember, we went through those slides where we had the membership goals for each of the years. And we've also got the styles of clubs that we'll be looking at focusing on, the request for small clubs to grow their membership, the request for traditional clubs and bigger clubs to be flagship clubs and assist the smaller clubs, the opportunity to grow new style clubs. And the other part of it is that we're doing, we're hoping to, with my membership champions, we will be doing a road show. So we will be bringing information, sharing the YAS program out to members in the district. So we'll be doing a road show. We'll come to your area and set up a workshop, invite all your club members into a workshop. And I've actually got an idea. I would like to see if we could actually run an information session. If we did it over a weekend, that we'd have the Saturday for our training and organisation of membership, and then we could perhaps run an open to the public style forum expo in the towns that people could invite local people to come along, and we could have different clubs representing the different clubs in the area and showcasing the projects they do for their community. So it's just an idea. And again, I'd love people to send ideas to me because I don't have all the answers. And we'd love that opportunity to actually assist you with every way that we can to grow membership. So that's my goal. So there are tools that we can start to use. I've certainly been doing a lot to become the membership chair. I had to go online and take some learning. we've got the district pilot program. We've got to give it a name. So someone could come up, perhaps Jan could come up with an idea for a name for that. Can't be a pilot project because we figure we've been successful. We need to move it into a mainstream project. We've got obviously Rotary Parramatta, all the people there are very helpful about helping us. We've got a zone membership team, and if anyone who tuned in this morning to Darcy in Adelaide, there's a huge number of people who are really supportive and have great ideas and love to share their successes. So we've got people like Adrian Roach. There's people, Andy Rajapaskas, who has had amazing success up in Queensland. He's happy to help us. He's actually going to be coming down and perhaps lead our district into some of his style of membership. I need those district champions to jump on board with me. We've got some money. We can do some great training. We'd like them to get involved in the roadshow, so we would need you to be a bit flexible and actually happy to come out and do weekends away, helping other areas in the district to achieve those goals. And I really would like to get some information and data, so there's some surveys and things that people can use to actually understand their club membership, understand where their clubs are at the moment and how they could grow them. And there's also been a request for membership information. So, performer style, good quality information brochures that clubs can use and modify, and that we've got some money for printing and better quality documents to use in your membership drive. So that's going to help. So if you've got something happening, you've got information to hand out that gives people the information about your club, how they can contact you and when you meet and what your focus is in your district, in your area, in your town. So I'm getting tired. I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing from me. So what we need now is we need a club membership champion. So if you can get your own club membership person in place. We also need people involved in public image for your club, because I think that's it goes hand in hand. Is your club interested in trying to be one of our flagship clubs? There's certainly some big clubs that can assist us. We need to include gender diversity, and we've got a gender diversity and inclusion action plan that we need to develop for our district. And we need our membership ages to be entered into Rotary Club Central. And we also need some input from you guys, from your AGs. When would be the best time for a membership roadshow to come into your area? And what would you like it to look like? What do you think will help you contact your local communities and engage them with Rotary? So please, I need your help. I need your ideas. I don't have the answers. I'm happy to work with you all, and we can certainly make a huge difference to our district and the work that we do on behalf of Rotary. So I love Rotary. I want it to continue. I want our district to continue the way that we are, because I think we are unique. I think we've got a great opportunity to really grow Rotary in our district. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time. I will really love to hear from you, your ideas, how we can make this happen. So is there any questions? Sunil?
Yeah, so you said something about having done something at Trafalgar. Why can't that be done at every other club, especially the smaller ones who are like Trafalgar, likely to completely disappear?
Well, no, we're not going to let them disappear. We're going to work with our small clubs.
Yeah. Jenny.
More help, yeah.
Can I maybe answer that one a little bit, Linda? as membership chair at Traralgon, when I heard that there was going to be a pilot program, I basically jumped the club on board and then asked them. But we basically had been through a system about 15 months ago where we had done a very honest assessment prior to a Rotary year of where we were at, what we wanted to achieve, what we felt we needed to do in terms of membership. So it was a bit like club visioning, but it wasn't. It was just on one evening. And so I felt that the club was in a good place to join the pilot program. And basically, as I said, all the pilot program did was it allowed the group of us to get some directionality, if you like, on where we wanted to go and maybe a good way to prioritise some of the steps that we wanted to take. And certainly I know that the group that was involved from the club really benefited from us. We weren't all from the membership committee. I deliberately chose a diverse group of members. And I think that we've been very fortunate that our members as such are on board with changing the face of the club a little to make us a more attractive club going into our 9th decade. We turn 80 next year. And I think everyone in the club is conscious that we need to tweak things to still be a viable force going into the future in the Traralgon area. And so I think that that was really fortunate. And one thing I was going to mention, Linda, was in your clubs, when you start talking, please make sure that everybody feels that they can be honest. And what I did was I actually used sticky notes so that if people didn't want to speak publicly, they could still write an opinion on their sticky notes. And all I asked for was one thing that you felt would be a value to your club as someone coming in. One thing that you thought might turn a new member off. And then I also asked for a name of someone that the members of the club might think would be a good Rotarian. Please make sure if you do that, get some contact details because we're still struggling with a few of those. And it was a really valuable exercise. So when we went into the pilot program about 8 months later, it was all sort of sitting there ready to bubble away. And it's going to be a long process. We lost a number of members through ill health and moving to Sydney and things like that in the time that we've brought these new members in. But I think as Linda showed, it showed okay, we've plateaued and now we're on the upward rise and we've got some of those skills in place within the club to be able to move forward.
Thanks, Jan. Now, I'm very conscious of the time. So again, I thank you so much for participating. And we certainly are going to be helping all our clubs. As I said, I really like the idea of these flagship, building up the clubs, the big clubs into flagship clubs, and the support for the small clubs, the Yes program, the roadshow, the opportunity to participate in that pilot program, which we need to think of a clever name for. And it really does work. We really just need to work on it. I'm sure we'll do very well. And I'm looking forward to doing this. I'm very excited about it. So please send in your ideas. Keep me busy. And thank you all very much. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you.